Hi everyone, this is Santiago from ctoframework.com. Today we're going to be looking at the role of the forward deploy engineer. So let's demystify a role that is becoming critical in enterprise SaaS, data platforms, and AI, the forward deploy engineer. So simply put, the FDE is a software engineer who lives in the front line with the customer. And historically, roles like sales engineering or solutions architecture have handled client integrations. But as systems grow more complex, sales engineering isn't enough. FDEs are fully fledged developers who write production code and embed deeply in customer environments, translating raw customer pain into robust technical solutions. So for us, understanding the FDE role is key to solving the last mile delivery problem for complex enterprise products. Okay, so what does an FDE actually do on a day-to-day basis? So the responsibilities fall into three main areas: implementation, development, and product feedback. So first, they embed with customer to deploy the software and build data pipelines. Second, they write custom code to bridge gaps between the customer systems and the product. But most importantly, they don't just leave the code as custom hack. So they work with core engineering to fold those solutions back into the main product. So this means FDEs are not just service delivery folks. They are active contributors to the product roadmap. Okay, and to truly understand FDEs, it helps to contrast them with roles we already know. So core software engineers, solutions architects, and sales engineers. So while a software engineer focuses entirely on building internal product features and rarely speaks to customers, and a solution architect focuses on design and pre-sales, the FDE sits right in the middle. So they write as much code as a core software engineer, but they do it directly in client environments, dealing with live customer data and constraints. So deploying an FDE allows you to maintain a high-velocity core engineering team while still providing high-touch custom engineering for your most valuable enterprise accounts. Okay, so a chart. So let's look at how this loop functions in practice, creating a flywheel of product improvement. It starts on the left at the customer side, where the FDE embeds and encounters real-world integration gaps. Second step, the FDE builds a solution on the spot. Step 3, instead of keeping the solution siloed, the FDE brings the code and learning back to the core product team. And finally, in step 4, those features are generalized into the platform, upgrading the product for all clients. So this loop ensures your product develops a natural immune system against integration friction, driven directly by real-world edge cases. And why should you invest in hiring or building an FDE team? Well, first, they accelerate time to value. When you sell to a major bank or healthcare system, say, onboarding can stall for months because of legacy systems. FDEs unblock this. So second, they protect your core roadmap, and instead of your core engineers getting pulled into custom client requests, FDEs handle those requests and feed back clean, generalized insights. And ultimately, FDEs act as a force multiplier that lets you scale enterprise revenue without breaking your core product team. So finding or training the right FDE is difficult because it requires a very rare mix of skills. So they need to be excellent software engineers who can jump into a legacy code base they have never seen, debug it, build clean pipelines. At the same time, they need the communication skills of a consultant because they represent your company in front of clients' executive team. An FDE is a future tech lead or product director in training. They learn to balance engineering excellence with business reality. Okay, so how should you implement the FDE model within your engineering organization? In the early days, almost all your engineers should act like FDEs to understand client needs. As you scale, you want a dedicated FDE team to act as the vanguard for enterprise sales. But as your product matures, you must transition FDE work into building SDKs and APIs so partners or customers can do it themselves. So the ultimate goal of an FDE is to make their own custom integrations obsolete by building a self-serve platform. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.